Good morning. It's Friday the 9th of March 2018 and warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk. I hope you're well this morning. I had a lovely chat last night with you all, didn't we? Around about 10 o'clock last night, we had a really nice chin wag last night. Nearly 2 hours. Oh, I had a sore throat after that. I had a very dry throat after that. I went downstairs, had a cup of tea after I finished chatting away to you. And we had a few people calling in last night as well, which was really nice. We're going to schedule a weekly night show. It'd be probably a Tuesday, probably a Tuesday or a Thursday, I would think. Tuesday, Thursday, maybe a Sunday night, around about 9-10 p.m. sort of time. Maybe not an exact time, but certainly we'll start doing a regular nighttime show at least once a week as well. All right, so we're going to start doing that as well. Haven't seen the new Benidorm yet. Anyone seen the new Benidorm yet? Last night's one. I saw the first episode last week, which is hilarious, as always. Brilliantly written by Darren Litton, the Benidorm TV show. And, of course, they've got Benidorm Live as well happening soon. You can buy tickets for that, Benidorm Live, the stage version of the TV show. I don't have tickets for that at the moment, but I may well go and see that. I think it's hilarious, don't you? Absolutely hilarious. And I said to my mate, I said, do you know, I think I'd like to go to Benidorm after seeing that. But of course, you wouldn't see those. If you could go to a hotel and be surrounded by those characters, I would absolutely go and book a ticket. I mean, maybe there's a business there. But perhaps, I suppose the actors could do that job as well, could they? You know, whereas you could actually, I don't know, the Benidorm people could hire a massive hotel complex and for a week employ those characters to just walk about and do their thing. And you would want to stay there, wouldn't you? And just watch what's going on. The old bag on the bike is my favourite. You know, on that little motor thing. And that's why I would want to go, which is why I wanted to go to Selfridges. That's where I went yesterday, Selfridges. We went for an afternoon tea at Selfridges, so we left here, me and my mate. I haven't done a video, actually. Funny thing is, I got to the end of the day yesterday, and I suddenly thought to myself, oh, you didn't do a video. And I think that's because I had such a good time there. I had a really good time yesterday. We left here, went swimming. From the swimming pool, we went, got in a car. Ronnie drove us because he's got one of those disabled parking badge things, so he can park in places generally for nothing. Certain places. Can't park anywhere for nothing. It's very easy to park somewhere where you shouldn't be, even with a disabled badge. There are very strict rules on that. Anyway, so we drove in. The traffic wasn't too bad coming in until we got into central London. Then it was a bit stop-start. But we couldn't find anywhere for a disabled space. So we've parked in this place. Oh, and it was one of those pay-by-phone things. And he must have been 10 minutes on this bloody phone trying to get it all working. He was already set up. He tried one credit card, then he tried another credit. Oh, we are having trouble processing your transaction. And then it goes back to the menu. I can't bear it. Pay by phone. How blooming inconvenient is that? Have you done it? Or even better than that is if you haven't actually set up yet. You know, so you're standing there, your car's parked. You're standing there with the mobile phone, reading the instructions which have been stuck on a post somewhere of what to do, touch that and all that business. Oh my God, Darren's watching this morning. Good morning, Darren, from Westfield Shopping Centre. Oh, you must be in Primark, are you, lovey? I bet you're in... Is there a Primark there? I'm just talking about you, Darren, and your programme, my love. Did you hear what I said? I think you should hire a big hotel complex in Benidorm somewhere, employ your actors for a week to walk around and sell the tickets of people that want to go on holiday there, or maybe day trips. You'd make a fortune, dear. A fortune. And you could have the karaoke on at night as well. The little lady on a motorbike, you know, going around. Not motorbike, you know, the... Oh, what's that thing? You know, the electric wheelchair thing, whatever that's called. Moped? I don't know what it is. There's an idea for you. Have a little think about that one. Anyway, back to Selfridges. So, yes, you sit there with this thing. I've got to ring this number. And okay, enter your credit card details now. And press this, press that. What a lot of mucking around. Why can't we just go to back to the things where you used to put a pound in the blooming machine? How easy is it to do that? You put your hand in your pocket, you shove a pound in a little slot in the machine, and you get an hour of parking. Dear me. Oh, it's so complicated. Good luck at the BBC this morning, sir. Okay? Yes, he's got a meeting at the BBC, Darren. He's got another TV show coming up. I shall bring you the news fully when I have given permission to give it to you. There we are. Good luck at the BBC. Can you ask it, while you're at the BBC actually, Darren, can you ask them to bring back the Globe, please? Us TV fanatics, we're not so bothered about the programmes. It's the bits in between they keep changing, and I hate it. Can we please have the Globe back? Not that, indiscriminate red box in left-hand corner, dear. BBC One doesn't do anything. Just a picture on the screen. We want a globe going round. Actually, while I was in Selfridges yesterday, after we've had the afternoon tea, we walked around in there. Thank you. The Globe, please. #Globe. Chris Redden. When you say Chris Redden, oh, Chris from the telly, that's probably what they say. I'm sure they will, Darren. Ask them for the Globe. And actually, if they don't have one anymore, I saw one yesterday in Selfridges. I saw a revolving globe in Selfridges yesterday. Now, the thing is, it wasn't very big. I was going to buy it for an ear, right, and put it there. But it's actually not that big. There you go. That was the size of it. Yeah, if you want it in here, it's got to be sort of the size of that, isn't it, hanging down there. Do you know, actually, I could just do that, couldn't I? I could have but, it was that big, and it was in liquid, and it was turning. £350! £350 this gadget was. Oh, it was beautiful. Turning slowly in this liquid. Selfridges, in sort of gadget department. Well, there's very, very nice looking staff in there, in Selfridges. Anyway, so we parked the car eventually. He had trouble parking it. Eventually, he paid to park, right? So he's paid to park on, I think it was Duke's Road or something like that, right, almost right next to Selfridges. And he got out of the car after getting it. Oh, at last it's done. We walked, I kid you not, we walked 2 bays down, and guess what? Disabled bay empty. So then he's moved his car into the disabled bin, rung up the people straight away to get his £10 back. Good. Why pay unnecessarily when you don't need to? So he's done that. Okay, so then we crossed the main road, Oxford Street, and took some photographs outside, which I haven't put on here yet to show you, unfortunately, yet. So I'll put those together at some point. Went into Selfridges, and it was wonderful. As I say, the reason I went to Selfridges is because I've been watching Mr. Selfridge on the telly, and I didn't see it when it was on, when it started, I think about 5 years ago. And I'm now up to series 3, episode 6 or something like that. And I absolutely love it. Mr. Selfridge, which was on ITV. Just absolutely wonderful, warm programme, full of characters, just like your Benidorm is. Absolutely full. Chock-a-block with characters. I mean, who cannot help to hate Mr. Thackeray? You know, the gay one who's in charge of the fashion, who thinks is very important. He's got sacked recently in the programme, you see. Mr. Selfridge, I mean, the acting is absolutely fantastic. Faultless acting on there. Really is. And that's why I wanted to go to Selfridge. So as I walked through the door, I thought, wow, I'm here. I got a little tingle up my spine. It was either that or someone had just touched me, which hasn't happened for a few years, I'll be honest with you. So we went into Sainsbury's. We were a little bit late because of the trouble parking. So we went straight in there, and we found someone. Could you tell us where the champagne bar is, please? Oh yes, it's up on the second. The first person sent us downstairs, so we went downstairs, and we found this little eating type place, but it didn't look like a champagne bar, which was kind of in the middle of the store, but downstairs. And I'm looking, and I thought, I don't know about this, because of course you're in the middle of the shop. There's no windows. We like to look out of windows when we're eating, don't you? This was in the middle of the store, and there were lots of people in there, obviously having a good time. And there were cakes, and I thought, well, this must be it. And he said, is this the champagne? But, oh, no, you want the second floor. Oh, well, they've just sent us down here. Oh, no, you're on the wrong place. We're dollies. Dollies. We do afternoon teas as well. Would you like to sit down? I said, well, no, we've got a booking. Oh, okay, well, that'll be up on the second floor. So we've gone back on the escalators again. Up the. I do like an escalator, don't you? How do you ride on your escalators? At the bottom, I like to hold on to the thing and I slide forward and it goes for, and then I go down a bit before I step over. I quite like escalators, don't you? We do like an escalator. What? Don't get your shoelaces caught in those things. That happened to me in Tesco. Yes, it's not there anymore. Tesco's in Bracknell. The Tesco's, what do you call it? You know, furniture and clothes one, whatever that's got. So, home and wear. Tesco's home and wear in Bracknell. I was going up an escalator and I was doing that thing, right? I got to, and suddenly I felt my foot was being dragged underneath the escalator. I nearly disappeared in the slots here. Very dangerous. So we're going up these escalators, and we got to the top, and we walked through the, through, I think, ladies' wear. Oh, the most beautiful ladies' clothes in Selfridges. You know, you need £1,000 minimum. Beautiful, beautiful. I can't remember the particular. It might have been Gucci. It might have been Gucci, but I was struck by that because I like vibrant colours. I like vibrant colours. Incidentally, this backdrop hopefully will be changed at the weekend to our new spring backdrop, which is down there in a little packet. I'm not going to show it to you. That can be a little bit of excitement for you, perhaps on Monday morning or maybe Sunday, depending on when I get it up. That the new spring backdrop is awaiting going up. The winter one is about to disappear because it's about to warm up again, you know. Oh, yes. We got 15 degrees tomorrow. 15 degrees. I'll be taking off my clothes and walking around in a small bikini, that sort of thing. Yes. I've decided to walk around in a bikini. I know I'm a bit late. In support of Women's Day, which was yesterday, of course, but I'm a bit late for it. So I'm going to walk around tomorrow in a ladies' bikini in support of Women's Aid Day. I think that's an excellent idea. Okay, back to the story then. So we're up the escalators. We've gone through the ladies' department, Gucci, looking at all the beautiful Gucci stuff. There was a dress there. I said, oh, I'd love that for my sister. And I looked at it, £970, this dress, and it was bright green. There are some beautiful, beautiful Gucci stuff as you walk through there. And indeed, other departments as well. All wonderfully coloured, bright colours are coming back. I'm so happy about that. I really am. There's too much of this dark grey and black and brown in the world. Grey in particular. What a dismal colour. Whoever came up with the idea of wearing grey? It's so boring and just horrible. No, we want bright colours. Gucci, 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 dear. And the shoes. Shoes to die for, ladies. Beautifully crafted shoes. Oh, wonderful. Went through there. So we got to the same bar. Hello, sir. Yes, please come straight through. Went through and we sat down and we sat. And we weren't right next to the window. We sat very near a massive window. Oh, and the light was just coming through. Wonderful. So very quickly, a lovely lady who was English. A young girl from England, which is always a bit of a shock, I find, don't you? When a girl like waitress or man comes over and they're English. Can I help you, sir? Oh, you're from England. Yeah, where are you from? Thamesmead. Oh, have you been to Thamesmead? Oh, God, it's dangerous there, dear. I thought you poor girl, but I didn't say anything. Thamesmead, dear. Ghastly place. Almost as bad as Croydon, which isn't too far from here. Anyway, she's from Thamesmead, so we're having a chat with her. She, we were 2 vegetarian sandwiches. So off she went. The glass of champagne came over, 1 little glass each, which was very nice. I loosen up very quickly after a couple of mouthfuls of champagne. Very, very, don't take me long at all. Now, the price of this one wasn't too bad. It was £80 for the 2 of us. Although it was a little bit dearer than that. So I shall come to that as you're watching, okay? So we're sitting there chatting away, the sandwiches. We got talking to a lovely couple who was sitting next to us. They're from Australia. They're over here for a bit of a holiday. He married her. Now, where was she from? Buh, 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 buh. I think she was from Norfolk, the lady, but they moved over to Australia and they've been there for years and years, and he's Australian. Oh, sorry, he was Australian. She was from England, and they met somewhere, and she went to live in Australia. And we had a good old chat with them. They were having some sort of lunch, and over came our sandwiches. Now, they were a little bit slow coming, but that's okay. That means they're made fresh, you see. So this little thing came over, and they put it in front of us. And I looked at it, and I thought, oh, there's not too much there. Now, usually, we will ask for a second lot of sandwiches, which is all generally included in the price. But we'd already decided this time not to have the extra ones. And I'll tell you why. Because what's been happening is that we go out for an afternoon tea, and we do excessively. Okay, we do it excessively. We have all the sandwiches, then we have another load of sandwiches. Then we have the scones and another load of scones. Okay, which means only one extra scone. When I say another load, one more scone. But with the sandwiches, you get like 4 finger sandwiches, 4. And if you ask for another, you get another 4, you see, which is never a problem. We usually have that. But we decided not to ask for more sandwiches because we found we were eating, coming home, and then a little bit later in the day, feeling a bit, I don't feel too well. And we're not quite sure what it was, whether it was the drink or the excessive amount of food. So we decided that already. So we had the sandwiches. Well, instead of 3 finger sandwich, 4, there were only 3 on the plate. But that's okay. It was all wonderfully set out on this little like rack of 3 plates. 1, 2, 3 like that. So sandwiches on the bottom, scones in the middle, and little cakes on the top. So it all looked very nice. So we had the sandwiches, and tea came as well. The tea was nice, very nice tea, Selfridges tea. Then we had the scones. Then I had the cakes. Then I asked for another couple of scones. Yes, no problem at all, sir. So over came 2 more scones. The atmosphere, fantastic in there. The decor, art decor, my mate called it. And that looked very nice. The whole art decor thing in there, very, very nice. Mirrors on the wall and all that business. The service in there, excellent. You couldn't fault any of the ladies. I think they were all ladies, actually. They were all ladies serving us in there, from what I remember. That was great. The customers in there, lovely people. While we were sitting there, this couple, they had reserved the table near the next to the window there. And this lady came in. She had the big dark glasses. She had the lips, yeah, and the hair. And she was probably about 70, 75 years old. I have to say, she looked fantastic. And the old boy came, excuse me, quite an old chap, probably about 75 years old. And I looked around. I said, oh, I'm sorry. And I moved in. Oh, thank you ever so much. He was very, very pleasant, as indeed the lady in the corner was. But you could see there was some money sitting on that table. There was a lot of money sitting on that table. Do you know what I mean? But they were nice people. Lovely, lovely people. So you couldn't fault anything. So that was great. So we had our tea, ate our food, and we're ready. Can I have the bill, please? So the bill's come. And so there's the bill. 2 afternoon teas. But then they've put down as extra 2 scones. £4.50 each. And I have to say, I'm disappointed at that. When you pay for an afternoon tea, now that was on the sort of cheaper side of afternoon teas, 40 quid, about 80 quid for the 2 of us. Okay? When you pay 80 quid for an afternoon tea and you ask for 2 extra scones, you don't expect to be paid for those scones. Pay for those scones each. £4.50 each. So that's another £9 on the bill. Okay, you could argue, well, if you're in there, you shouldn't be worried about prices. Well, no, not really. But the point is, you've paid for an afternoon tea. Now, everywhere else we've been, we've asked her, can I have some more sandwiches, please? And they just come. I mean, you can only eat so much food, can't you? Now, the best place for that, I've found, is Harrods. Harrods afternoon tea at the Gregorian restaurant, which is much dearer than the one in Selfridges. I think it's about 60 quid each in that one. I can't remember the exact price. That's if you have the champagne as well. And there, they keep coming over. Would you like some more sandwiches? Would you like some more tea? Would you like some more this? Whatever. Oh, yeah, we'll have some. And it just comes. Not champagne, that's a different thing. Not the alcohol. Anything else just keeps coming as long as you want it. And well, I've been to the Harrods one twice now. Once with my mate Ron, and once with a friend of mine, Ashley. And it's fantastic. It literally just keeps coming. And you never have more than 2 lots of sandwiches. If you have 2 lots of sandwiches, you don't want anything else. If you just have 1 lot of sandwiches, you might want 1 more scone or a couple more cakes. You never have any more than that. The tea just keeps coming. I don't think they came at one point yesterday and said, do you want any more tea? Or they certainly didn't ask if we wanted any more food. Indeed, as I say, when we asked for another couple of scones and then the bill came and they were on there, 2 afternoon teas, £80. Oh, 2 scones, £4.50 each. No. Not too happy. Now, of course, I didn't say anything. Okay, fair enough. Not going to argue the case. If that's their rules, that's their rules. And I just paid the bill. And the Ivy do one. Do they really, Darren? The Ivy afternoon tea. I haven't tried that one. So, absolutely faultless service. The food was lovely. Everything was fine. Disappointed that they put 2 extra scones on there. Anyway, so I paid the bill and that was it. We then walked into the store, and one of the things I wanted to do yesterday was buy a pair of jeans. Now, I've got lots of pairs of jeans, but pairs of jeans, since losing the weight, none of them fit. Now, they fit around the waist, but they're literally hanging off my arse. And I'm not good with finding jeans that fit me. I can go in it. So we went into the specific jeans department in Selfridges, and I said, hello, I'd like to buy a pair of jeans. Okay, so can you have a look at me and give me a suitable pair? So he's given me a pair. Now, get this, right? Get this. So he's given me this pair of jeans. What size? I said, well, I think I'll be a 34 or 36 waist. Okay, I'll give you the 34. He's given me the 34. He said, do you want a stretch fabric? Because I'd already said I'm a bit of a funny shape. If they go up round my waist, they will hang off my arse. If they go round my arse, they won't go up round my waist. Okay, sir, can I suggest a stretch jean? Yeah, okay. So he's given me this pair of jeans. I've not looked at the price. Given me this pair of jeans. I've gone in a change room and tried them on. Well, blow me down. They are still hanging off my arse a bit. But the size 34 waist ones, I've got about that much to play with in the waist. Okay, they're not hanging out round my waist, but because they're stretch material, there's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches that I can pull out. So I've come back out. How are they, sir? I said, I think they're a little bit too big. Try size 32. I said, you're joking, aren't you? And he's looked at me. He said, no. He said, I think a size 32 would probably do. I said, really? I haven't been able to wear size 32 jeans since I was 32 years old and going and off my head every night at trade and turn mills. So I've got these jeans anyway. So he's given me these jeans. I've gone in the changing rooms, taken the old ones down, put the old ones back up. And they fitted. Size 32. Not only that, I can still pull the jeans a little bit away from my waist. I'm as happy. I've got into another world now, dear. I'm as happy as a sandbag. As happy as a sandbag. The fact that I've got this pair of size 32 jeans on. So I've come back out. Ronnie's there as well, my mate. He said, they fit you really well, Chris. Yeah, for the first time in years, you've got an arse again. So they're all one length. They don't do different lengths. So you then, the boy comes round, ever so helpful. This is the one thing in Selfridges. All the staff seem really young. They're like young people who appear to actually like their jobs. You know how it is. Sometimes you go in a shop and you think, they can't. Curry's is a good one. They don't want to be there. They absolutely don't want to be there. No, not in there. They're really enthusiastic and they must be looked after by the management. It makes such a difference. If you've got someone over you who lets you get on with the job and actually believes in you, it makes so much difference as a young person. It really does. Some of the places I've worked in where the young people are treated very badly, such as West 5 Bar in Ealing. There's a manager there, a great big fat thing called Dane is, and he treats his bar staff with disrespect and disdain. It's disgusting. That's why I left there. He's awful. And if you treat staff like that, then they're going to be miserable. Miserable staff, miserable customers, don't buy anything. But they're really happy in there. They seem to be very happy. Anyway, so this boy comes over. He says, well, you'll have to have them take them. So I said, can you do that? Yes, we've got a department here. They charge £14 for adjustments. I thought, well, that's fair enough. 14 quid, probably a little bloke or a lady upstairs somewhere, will be doing her sewing. So then he says, okay, if you'd just like to stand by the mirror, sir. So I've stood by the mirror, and he's got down on his hands and knees, and he's pulling the legs down and putting little pins around there. I've never had this done before. Oh, I found it very exciting, dear. I've never had this done before. So he's pinning the little pins around the bottom of my legs there, right at the, shoe level. And how's that look? So I walked up and down a bit, and he said, yeah, that looks great. And I was pleased with it, and Ronnie thought it looked good. So that's it. So they all fitted. So I've got a pair of jeans, and I. Well happy. Then I went to pay for them. I don't dare tell you. I don't think I should tell you. I mean, they weren't a label around. 200 quid, dear. 200 quid. For a pair. But I've got, of course, I never looked at the price. I wouldn't dream in my wildest dreams I'd be ever paying £200 for a pair of jeans. Of course, I shall be using them for work, so they are tax-deductible items. Don't worry about that. They will only be used for work. Tax-deductible for work. Stage clothing. But nevertheless, £200 on a pair of jeans. I nearly fell through the floor. My mates just walked off. Of course, I didn't say anything at the till. Now, my mate wouldn't think twice about spending that. Neither would my nephew. But for me, jeans, £40 maximum. 200 quid! I reluctantly handed over my American Express card. And the bloke took it with a smile on his face and ran it through the machine, and that's it. But I'm really pleased I bought these. And then my mate says, oh, you mustn't wash them. I said, what do you mean, no wash them? How can you not wash clothes? Apparently you're not supposed to wash them either. So that's it. So I did that, and from there, paid for those, and they sent them upstairs to be, tailored. I think it's tailored. £200, I know, Darren. 200 quid. Oh, dear me. Wipes the sweat off his head. So we walked off, and then we carried on walking. I'll come back to this story in a moment. Let's just say hello to some of you this morning. I've lost the bottom lot of messages now. I've been talking for so long, haven't I? Who got the first message in this morning? Let's have a look. Oh, it's Ashley. Good morning, Ashley. Are you out delivering potatoes today? You probably are. Morning, Ashley. Good morning to Adam the plumber. Evan's there. Good morning, Evan. Merlin. Morning, Merlin. Mark Jones. Good morning to you. Diane Jebb. Philip Dove. Good morning, Philip. Good morning to Staffy. Oh, yes, Staffy's with us. Nice to see you, sir. Rod Brown never seems to get the number one spot. They've all got their hands ready to pounce. They are, Rod. You know, round about the time the show is normally in the morning, round about 9:15, 9:30 is when we like to start in the morning, okay? Good morning to Andy Baker. Jenny, you're new. Welcome, Jenny, to the show. Morning, little Seamus. Little Jamie, bless him. Do say hello to Jacob for us, Seamus. Good morning to Ferrell, morning, who would come to Benidorm with me. I have been to Benidorm once. 1983, when I went for my honeymoon, actually. I was married once. It didn't last very long, but one of those things, you know. But yes, I have been to Benidorm. We stayed at Le Hotel L'Orange, which is the Orange Hotel in English. Hotel L'Orange. I don't know if it's there anymore. I was shocked when we got in the lift and there was no internal door. You know, there's no internal door. Well, it wasn't then. I don't know if they've got internal doors on the lifts now. You know when you go in a lift here, Ferrell, and you know the outside door closes and so does an inside one. Two doors, isn't it? Not there. They've only got an outside door and it just goes up and you can touch things. Well, you don't want to. You have your hand ripped off, wouldn't you? Yes, do be very careful. Let's have a look. Ashley says he's paid by phone before for car parking and it's a nightmare. Oh, it is. It's terrible trying to get this. The stuff you have to go for. Bring back coin-operated parking meters. Good morning to Ahmed, who is in Malaysia. Good morning to you, sir. First time along for the show. I do hope you enjoy it. A special hello to all our people watching on the Learn English Facebook groups. I know some of you watch as well. Mark used to pay by phone every day. It's easy. Most are linked to the Ring Go app. I don't think it is easy, Mark. He sat there, he tried 3 credit cards before he got one that worked. Either that or he's run out of money. One of the two, I think. Morning, Adam. He's got pay by phone. He's got about 6 different accounts because there's so many different ones out there. It's annoying, but once you've registered, it's more convenient. Okay, well, maybe I need to register mine. Although I don't drive into London, you see. Generally, if Ronnie's not coming to London, I'll get a train in. It's so much easier. You just get on the train and you relax, don't you? You sit on the train with a book or you've got your phone out and just looking out the window. And let the train take the strain. That's an old advert, isn't it? Do you remember that one? Was that a Jimmy Savile one? Oh, dear. Dare not say that, dear. Dare not say that. Don't mention Jimmy Savile. The next thing, I'll have a photo of Rolf Harris behind me. Oh, dear. No, don't worry. Don't worry. The Queen and Barry Manilow are happy together on that back wall. They will not be replaced. They won't be. Andy. Oh, Darren, someone's asking you a question here. Ready? Are you going to make more? Are you being served? I don't think he'd be able to answer you that question, yes or no, but we'll see what he comes back with. All right, Andy, I loved it. I absolutely loved your remake of Are You Being Served? Everything, the characters down to it. If you don't mind me saying so, that the I'm free bit didn't quite get it, but that was the only part of it. The rest of it was absolutely fantastic. You had those characters so well. And the actors, you don't say actresses anymore, do you? Not actors and actresses, just all actors. So the actors that played the part, you had them down to a T, mate. Absolutely fantastic. I do hope you're going to do more Are You Being Served? Yes. Mark says, where do you park for £1 an hour in Great Portland? No, that was just a figure out of the sky. You're right. It was £4.90 an hour. £4.90 an hour. That's why it cost him a tenner. He paid for 2 hours and he gets 1 hour, 1 hour free. Okay. Are you being served news? It's come up. Here we are. Thank you, Darren. Are you being served? Probably not. Maybe a Christmas special or something one day, but not a series. And he loved making it. Oh. So not Are You Being Served? It's something else. Something else from Darren. Do you know what? I think we'll have to meet up, Darren. When you've got the news, let us know and we'll make a video. How's that sound? If you want to, that is, if you want to. Good morning to TC Fechi Eligor. I think you're new to the show. Welcome to you, sir. Andy says, shall I try a mankini? No, because a mankini is not celebrating Women's Aid Day. Is it Women's Aid Day or Women's Day? Yesterday it was that. No, got to be celebrating Women's Day. And they don't wear mankinis, dear. I've got to wear a bikini to come out in force with the suffragettes. The suffragettes, yes, indeed. Good morning, Heidi. Just about to start work. Good morning, Heidi. No, haven't put your photo on the system. Merlin says, did you get told about the charge when it was served to you? I would argue that. No, I didn't. But you kind of, when you're in like places like Selfridges and that, you just pay the bill. You know, you don't usually argue things like that in places like that. I did think that was a bit greedy, asking for an extra 10 quid for 2 scones. I was disappointed with that. Good morning, Ray Reynolds, who's with us this morning. John says, Harrods will take as much money from you as they can. I was in the restaurant manager in the Gregorian, Georgian, and hated it. Horrible place to work. John, I loved it in there. The Jordan restaurant is the place where the food just keeps coming and you don't get charged any extra. You know, that's my idea of an afternoon. It's a bit like going on a plane on business class. You expect to pay that high fee and then that's it, no more. Although British Airways, rather cheekily, you fly business class on British Airways now and they want to charge you another £120 to choose the seat. That is greedy. If you're paying like, I don't know, £1,000 for a plane ticket, you don't expect then to be charged another £150 to choose your seat. You see, this is where it's getting wrong now. The whole idea of paying that, you pay one fee, a bit like a fully inclusive holiday. Fully inclusive holiday. You don't pay for fully inclusive holiday and then expect to be pay extra for the glasses of Coca-Cola or lemonade. Okay, alcohol is a different thing altogether. Do you know what I mean? Good morning to Ray. Ray B's just woke up, having a relaxing day off. And good morning to Duke. Morning, Duke. Hope you're well this morning, sir. Were the jeans gold plated? No, they should have been, shouldn't they? Merlin says at £200, are you going to save them for best? No, I'll save them for work, because they are work jeans. They're specifically for work. A couple of people have told me my clothes are hanging off me because of the weight I've lost, so I need to do something about that. Thank you, Ray. He's enjoying the show this morning. Have you done afternoon tea at the Langham? No, haven't been to that one yet. That has also been recommended to us. Darren's going to do a video with us, so excellent, Darren. Or perhaps you'd like to come up here, or I could come there, and or come to you. Up to you, whatever you want to do, my friend. All right. When you get the news. Can I be exclusive? Oh, the Sun will get it first, won't they? The Sun will get it first. Ashley says it is at work. Okay. It's been off work for a whole week, Ashley, haven't you? Yes. Good morning to Mahbob. Mahbob, good morning to you. Where are you? If you're new to the show, do let us know where you are as well. Evan says, thin toast and pate for breakfast here, Chris. Oh, don't like the sound. Oh, it's not duck pate or something like that. How do they make that? Someone put on the thing this morning on Facebook. Who was it now? Carl, he said. And it was crab paste. Crab paste. God knows whose crabs they use to make that. And how many of them do you need? How many people do you need to get the crabs off to make crab paste? Would you have to crush them up with like a masher type thing first? Oh dear, let's swap over here for a minute. Let's give you a different angle. I've turned the colour up on this one. Is that better now? Yeah. It was looking a little bit wishy-washy yesterday, the colour on that camera. There we are. Okay. Merlin turned his back on British Airways when they tried to get first-class passengers to pay to choose where they sit. There you go. Every other airline doesn't do that except the charter companies. Yes, that's what I mean. If you're paying an enormous fee for the ticket of comfort of going in like business or first class, you don't expect to be having to pay for the seat as well. That should all be included. All be included. Right, back to the Selfridges story then. So we had ordered the jeans and then we came through again and started walking through. Oh, you'll love this one. You'll love this one. So we're walking through and we've got to Louis Vuitton. Now, I do not own any Louis Vuitton stuff. It is really expensive. Really, really expensive. My mate bought his other half a little bag. And it's nothing special, just like a little, like a mini rucksack. Not even a big rucksack. You couldn't get a tent in it. You couldn't buy one of... Oh, is that gone a bit blurry now? Is that blurry? No, it's all right. You couldn't buy a rucksack from Louis Vuitton and put a tent in it and a sleeping bag and clothes and food and a little gas burner to go camping with the scouts. Too small. You just about get about a notepad and a pen in it. Nice bags, don't get me wrong, but nothing special. I don't see anything special about having a bag with LV on it. So we've stopped there and I'm looking through and I'm looking over and... Ronnie is announcing proudly to a member of staff who had come over to see us. As soon as they see us stop, they're over there, aren't they? Lovely girl. Lovely, lovely girl. So he's talking to her and now describing all the Louis Vuitton items that he and his other half own. It's me sitting there, feeling, don't actually own any Louis Vuitton. And I've kind of seen these blue bags that are on shelves at the back, and I'm squinting a bit because they're quite far back. She says, "You don't have to squint. Come in and have a look." So I laughed and I went in. And so I'm looking at these bags. Of course, there's no prices on any of this stuff. Now, let me say, if you think £200 on a pair of jeans was expensive, you wouldn't see the price of some of this stuff in Louis Vuitton. The bag that he bought his other half, £995. I kid you not, that's what it was. For a bag. I mean, you can go down to Sainsbury's and get one for 5 pence, for Christ's sake, can't you? Huh? So I'm looking, and then I saw these white boots. Now, what are they? White, not trainers, they're a bit higher. What are they called? High tops. I don't have any high tops. Probably, to be honest, probably a little bit young for someone like me to be walking around in a pair of white high top boots, like trainers, but a bit taller. But nevertheless, I went over and I had a look. Well, she's come running over, hasn't she, this woman? Running over. Oh, I see you've been attracted by the white high top boots. I said, well, yeah. You know, so I'm looking at them, but I don't want to pick them up to see if there's a price on the bottom. Because you don't do that in these places. You just like and you buy. End of. I'm dying to know the price of this thing. So I said to Ronnie, how much are those? So he's gone over to the trainers. He's picked up a pair of trainers. Nothing special. Nothing special. No, they're not special design. They got LV on the side. Okay, pair of trainers. £665 on a pair of trainers. So he's looked at those. I said, how much do you reckon those are? He said they'd be about £800 on a pair of high top white boots. So I moved off from those quickly. Anyway, so we came round the corner a little bit. Merlin says, when I worked in that sort of luxury market, the attitude the company takes is, if you have to ask how much you are, you probably can't afford it. Yeah, too right and all, mate. Too right, I can't afford it. £800 on a pair of trousers. Mind you, if I bought them for work, stage clothing, they would be tax deductible items. You have to be a bit careful with that. You know, because you don't want to be seen out wearing the clothes that you work in, because then they could say, but you're not using them for work. And the tax people have what they call it, spies, you know, they watch. They will catch you if you're not paying your tax, my dear. The only people they don't catch are large organisations like Amazon and Starbucks, but we won't go there. That's for another show. So we come out and he's having a bit more of a chat, and I can't remember what was said. But Ronnie had like a joking dig at me. So I came back with this one. Besides, I don't know why you're bothering talking to him. He's on benefits anyway. He can't afford anything here. And I walked off. I'm terrible, dear. I'm terrible. But the lady saw the funny side of it and just laughed. And I awful to say something like that. So we walked through there, and then I want a new a sound thing for my telly. I've got a Samsung smart sound bar thing, which is so long, sits on the front of the telly, and this little bass thing, and it's quite often I can't hear the dialogue on the telly. So, you're turning it up and you can just about hear it, and then the music starts playing and completely drowns out the dialogue, and you can't hear it. And I'm convinced it's something to do with this soundbar. Now, admittedly, it's always been like this. From the day I bought it, I plugged it in and I thought, the music sounds, and then they start to, I can't hear it. Now, there are various different settings on this soundbar: movies, music, news, sport, games. I've tried them all. I can't hear the dialogue. So we went down to the sound department and were served by a really knowledgeable young lad there of about 28 years old. And I explained to him the problem, and he said, well, there's only one model I want to show you. And he showed me this Sonos thing. Now, I thought I'd get one of those surround systems, where you've got the speakers behind you and all that business. He said, no, you don't need those. He said, this is the system I want to show you. Sonos, something like that. And it was this bar and a larger bass speaker than the one I've got. Anyway, you put it on, played some stuff through it, and it sounded fantastic. I've got to tell you, it sounded absolutely fantastic. Now, it was dearer than I wanted to spend. £699, it says on there. So the boy's giving me all this technical information. Me and my mate are sitting in front of it, listening to it, playing various different things. All the time in the world they had for us. All the time in the world. Just playing us various things. And I was really impressed with the sound coming from this. Oh, can I stretch to that amount? You know, could I put that on the credit card perhaps this month? And we got, and I was really close to saying, okay, let's have one. And then he said, so that's $6.99 for each item. And in my head, I thought, hang on a minute, what does he mean each item? It was $6.99 for the bar and $6.99 for the basic. Not both of them. And it was that point my mate noticed my face change. So I decided against it. So I didn't buy. Because we've already been on Amazon and had a look round. And there are whole surround systems for like 250 quid. Something like that. So I didn't buy it. It sounded fantastic. I will go out and try other sound systems, perhaps in Curry's and John Lewis and places like that. But I've got to find one where I can hear the blooming dialogue. I can't hear it. It's just drowned out by the music all the time. Have you found that? Now, this isn't on every single programme, but it is on a lot of them. Films, things like that. Stuff like the news, no problem hearing that. Use Benidorm as an example. No problem with hearing a dialogue on Benidorm. As I say, the news, click online programmes. A particularly bad one appears to be Mr. Selfridge. You know, 1 minute you're watching it and then the music comes on. I can't hear what they're saying. And I'm running back 2 or 3 times. Sometimes I have to put the bloody subtitles on. So it comes up. Does anyone else have this problem? Anyone else have this problem? Mark, my soundbar is plugged into digital thing. It's a digital wire. It's only one wire. Goes between the telly and that. There's just one wire connects between the two. So I don't know why that is. Don't know why it doesn't work properly. And it never has, to be honest. Samsung, it's a good make. The music sounds fantastic. Can't hear the dialogue. So we walked out of there. I thought it was $6.99 for both of them. No, each. Come out of there. Then I bought some Selfridges tea, which again was a little bit dearer. It was actually twice the price of the Harrods tea. Isn't that funny? So I bought a little bit of tea there. And then I think that was it. That was the end of our day. Got back in the car and picked up a load of traffic on the way home. And we didn't leave too late this time. I think we were back in the car by about 4 p.m. Got back here about 5:30 in the afternoon. Had a little sleep, got back up, had some dinner and came up and spoke to you. Last night, we did a 2-hour show last night, so we're going to do that one night a week. We're going to do a late night show with phone in and all that business, okay? And that was my day yesterday, and a lovely day it was as well. I had a really, really nice day. Darren says, when we're mixing the sound on Benidorm, they play the sound through £80,000 speakers, so always for TV sound. Have you got any spare ones of those, Darren? Yeah, I know what TV places are like. They generally update their equipment regularly. Can you let me know when they're getting rid of the £80,000 speakers? I'd really appreciate that. I'm going to give you a couple of £100 for those, you know, cash in hand sort of thing. Cash in hand, dear. A little bit of a backhander for those £80,000 speakers. Funnily enough, I've got a couple of big disco speakers that I don't use, powered ones, so that means they've got the amplifiers in them. But they would look stupid in the living room. You know what I mean? Or doesn't that matter? I suppose I could hide them behind something. And they got tweeters and bass in there. And I've used these when I go out and do my karaoke nights. I mean, they've got a couple of line-ins to each side. And I wonder what they'd sound like. That might be better. I don't know what it is, why I can't hear the... it's terrible not being able to hear the words. My mate says it's because you're going deaf. No, it's not. Because it's not all programmes. It's certain programmes. Certain programmes. Yeah. Always ask them to play through normal telly. Yeah, now the thing is, playing through normal telly, Darren, if I turn off the soundbar and the bass speaker and just put the telly speakers on, okay, there's no bass. And compared to the sound system that you attach to a telly, the sound is rubbish. It really is. But I can hear the dialogue. I can hear the dialogue if it comes just through the telly. And I have done that. I've done that. I've literally turned off the sound system to listen to the sound through the telly because then I can hear the dialogue properly. It's mad, really, isn't it? Absolutely mad. All righty, what's the time? 10 past 10. Okay, let's have a look. Done that. I did have a couple of news stories. Good news if you're a KFC fan, boys and girls. KFC have, this is in this morning's Independent, they have reverted to their old chicken supplier to supply some of their shops again, because it's all gone terribly wrong at KFC. There's a lot of very happy chickens because they ain't been killed. Good. They haven't been deep fried. KFC said it's going back to its former supplier for more than 1/3 of its UK restaurants after a switch caused a massive chicken shortage, which in turn forced hundreds of outlets to temporarily shut their doors. Honestly, and people, I can't get my KFC. It wouldn't occur to them to try and eat something else. No, they moan and they moan and they moan, don't they? The fast food chain said it was reverting to Bidvest Logistics after switching to DHL and its partner QSL for around 350 restaurants. We've been working hard to resolve the present situation with QSL and DHL. The decision will ease pressure at DHL. So there we are. Good news for KFC fans, boys and girls. But I can't believe it's taken until now to sort that out. This story only came out 2 hours ago on the Independent, in the Independent newspaper this morning. All that time, now you would think something like KFC would be able to sort something like that out as quickly as that, wouldn't you? But no. I mean, if I was the original supplier, I'd push up my prices now, wouldn't you? It's a bit like being sacked from somewhere. When they ask you, oh, we're not sure we made the right decision. Would you come back? Yes, please. No, that's another 50 quid a night, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ray, who's enjoying the show this morning. Mark says his sound system is one wire. Change it to line out. Well, it's not a wire, is it? It's not a wire. It's like a glass cable. What's that called? Fibre optic, isn't it? Between the television and it's just a special wire. It says in the instructions, use digital out. So digital out on the telly, digital in on the soundbar. I'm quite good with technology and wiring things out and all that stuff. Good. What else have we got? Now, here we go. Ever got fed up with people parking on your pavement? We have a real big problem down my road. I mean, there's some houses, it's ridiculous. They got 4 or 5 cars and vans up and down this road and all, and they park in the most ridiculous fashion down this road. Well, check this out. In this morning's Daily Mirror, Yannick Reid, 47, of Bristol, has created the cat claw. A quick impression of a cat for you there. The cat claw. And says it will save lives and could even stop terror attacks. Look at this. An inventor in Bristol has created an extreme new measure to discourage motorists from parking on pavements, despite such parking being perfectly legal. This bloke claims his new invention could help stop terror attacks and will definitely save lives. Okay, so this is it. The cat claw. A device that punctures car tyres when you drive over it. What an excellent idea. I'm going to have them put all around in front of my garage. People park in front of my garage sometimes. I'm going to have a whole thing with cat claws sticking out. Or, even better than that, you could employ real cats, couldn't you? To go around and just scratch people's tyres to bits. The cat claw deploys a metal spike when driven over, puncturing the tyre of any motorist who tried to mount the curb. What an excellent idea this is. Reid of the Environmental Transport Association says it will end the scourge of pavement parking once and for all. I mean, these things, and they're pretty obvious. What they've done, I haven't got the picture here, unfortunately. Good morning, Paul. You're a bit late, aren't you? Bit late, Paul. The YouTube's working all right now. There was a problem yesterday with the YouTube stream last night, which was slowing me down like 50%. The strange thing is, Paul, it only happened on the live, okay? After the show was finished, about 2 hours later, I watched back on the YouTube and it was perfectly all right. If you go back on the YouTube on yesterday's show, the video that went out live is up there now as a recording. I haven't uploaded a different one. and it's perfectly all right. So they've obviously sorted out whatever problem they had. It was a YouTube problem, nothing to do at this end, all right? Back to this story. Here's the theory. Thousands of cat claws would be installed along the edge of pavements, puncturing the tyres of any vehicle which goes over it. Now, the cat claw, it's like a big black thing, it is, like that. And what they've done is paint a yellow, like a star shape around it, so you can easily see it. People would, you could probably say, well, what if you accidentally go off, on the pavement? Well, how many people do that? How many people accidentally go on the pavement when they're driving around? Only very bad drivers and Uber drivers. They're good at doing that, aren't they? I hate Uber. We hate Uber. Dreadful driving. It says we don't have an estimate how much it would cost. We're addressing road danger. There's a real problem with drivers parking on the pavement or driving on the pavement because they can't be bothered to wait, he said. Yannick added that he was inspired to create the cat claw after hearing a troubling statistic. Last year, 43 people were killed by cars as they walked on pavements. In one terrible incident, a 4-year-old girl using a scooter on a delivery driver crushed her to death in front of her mother. It's an extreme example, but it happens more than it should do. When you think you're safe on the pavement, you aren't safe. So I don't know what you think about that. I think that's an excellent idea. An absolutely excellent idea. Interestingly, they've got another story that's linked to this, which came out last year, this story. It was last year. Can you legally use traffic cones to reserve a parking space outside your home? I've never thought about this. I know people do it. I know people do this. The story. Returning home from work to find someone has parked outside your house can be one of the most annoying things in the world. But how far can you go to make sure that space is always available? Well, wheelie bins, traffic cones, and yes, believe it or not, even a toddler have all been used at one time or another to stop commuters taking up the space or reserve a parking spot. Can you imagine that to your child? Here, Johnny boy, just go and stand there. 5-year-old boy, just go and stand in front of that parking space while mummy goes and gets her shopping. Wheelie bins and traffic cones are often seen outside houses across the country. Most recently in a place in Millbrook Street, Cheltenham, reports the Gloucestershire Live newspaper. While the practice is unlikely to incur a fine, Gloucestershire City Council said it is not permitted and officials will simply remove them if necessary. So no, you can't do it. Councillor, Cabinet member for Gloucester Council, said blocking the road with traffic cones or wheelie bins is dangerous no matter what the reason behind it. We've had complaints about this and we address it straight away by visiting the area and speaking with the residents. So no, if residents have genuine issues with parking, then we can talk through the options with them. So there we are. But you're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to do it. The highway code says you must not park on a pedestrian, and then it tells you all the different places that you can't park. But no, not allowed to use traffic cones or anything to block off a parking space on a road. Unless, as Mark says there, you own the space. Now, I actually own the space in front of my garage, so I could put one there, I suppose. So, interesting there. Good morning, Mark. Just got up. He went to see Rag and Bone Man last night. That's funny, that Rag and Bone Man. When you hear the voice, you expect a black rapper type person to be singing that when you hear the voice, don't you? But it's not. It's some white old bloke, isn't it? White sort of middle-aged old bloke. It's really good. I like Rag and Bone Man. Human. Oh, only human. You're only human. I like that song. Good morning, Kathy. Welcome to the show, Kathy. Merlin said, how would you cross the road if you got these cat claws everywhere? Well, you'd walk alongside them, Merlin. You don't like cats, do you? You're against cats. That's what it is. You're against cats. What happens if someone steps on it or a child? I guess it will only come up if a wheel goes over it. You know, a little bit like the cat's eyes. Don't they only come up, they go down and up with the wheels? There's probably a way of doing it. There must be. There you go. Mark says, what if someone falls on the spot? You get a load of money, Mike. Good. Stingers. Oh, they're like stingers and renamed them. No, have a look on there. If I could show you the picture, I would, but I can't get that on there. Mark says, is your cable optical? Yes, it is. It's an optical cable. Alrighty, we're nearly done today, boys and girls. We're going to do today's birthdays, and then I shall have a little drink. Oh, I haven't had my pills yet, have I? I've got to have my 10 o'clock pills. And I fancy a cup of tea before I go out, actually. I'm a bit dry now. I might have a cup of tea before I go out. Today's birthdays, then. Happy birthday this morning to... He says, frantically clicking away and not being able to... Where are the birthdays gone? Where's all the birthdays gone? Oh, dear. One moment, please. Birthdays, here we go. Birthday time. Happy birthday today to Dane Beresford, a young 29 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Dane. Rick Porter, regular correspondent to the show. Good morning, Rick, and happy birthday to you. Mark Andrews, who loves trains. I love trains as well. Happy birthday, Mark. Bancha Reincam is a young 48 years old today. Happy birthday, Bancha. Phyliss Esme DeBoer is 41 years old today. Happy birthday, Phyliss. Danny Hilton, 47 years old today. Andy Baker. Oh, it's your birthday today. Well, you kept that quiet, didn't you? Will you wait for me to get to the list? Happy birthday, Andy. And Raymond Brown is 46 years old today. So happy birthday to you all, boys and girls, okay? Let's see if we can get all the names in, shall we? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dane, Rick, Mark, Andrew, Bancha, Phyliss, Sheila, Danny, Andy, and Raymond. Happy birthday to you. Sheila. Oh, did I miss you out then, Sheila? Sheila Smith. Are you one of our Manilow girls, Sheila? Let me have a look there. I wonder if you are one of our I think you might be one of our Manilow girls. I'm not sure if you are, Sheila, but whether you are or not, doesn't matter. A happy birthday to you, Sheila. Sorry I missed you out of the list there. Paul was late today because my show went on too late last night. Yeah, we did one last night. There's Andy. He's up there. You kept that quiet, Andy. Some people, they're on there. They tell you days in advance. Oh, it's my birthday. Can you wish me happy birthday? Days in advance, dear. Some people ask for cards. Could you send me a card for my birthday? What do you mean, could I send you? You don't do that, do you? You don't ask for things. Could you buy me a present for my birthday? Could you send me a card for my birthday? That's a bit weird, isn't it? That don't make sense, that. You don't ask to be sent a card, do you? Or a birthday card or a Christmas card. You just hope that it will happen. And if it doesn't, well, that's one of those things. Morning, Russ. Bit late, love. Finished. Going now. And good morning to Abdu, who joins us right at the end of the show as well. Alrighty. Tonight I'll be hosting karaoke this evening. That's at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Central Station karaoke this Friday and every Friday between 8:30 and midnight. We do have such a wonderful time down there on a Friday night, so do feel free to come and join us. Either come and sing us a song or come and watch our wonderful people that we have singing for you. Okay, karaoke tonight, all free. Don't cost you anything to come along there. Come along, buy a couple of drinks, sit on a table, stand at the bar, whatever you want to do, and enjoy our little karaoke night tonight and every Friday at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Have a lovely Friday, and I'll see you again at some point tomorrow, hopefully. Or maybe not tomorrow, because tomorrow is when I record my music and chat show, so it's always a bit tight on time on a Saturday morning. But we'll see. If not, either tomorrow or Sunday. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye now.